and welcome back to another video. Make sure to leave a like and smash that subscribe button. And today we're going to be talking about the Moroccan couscous. The Moroccan couscous is a dish from Morocco. Oh my god! What was that for?
Blue-eyed spotted couscous.
What do you mean? This is not a couscous?
This is the dish couscous. The blue-eyed spotted couscous is a large marsupial with big blue eyes.
Okay.
Okay, let's try this again, but this time you need to do it correctly. You got it?
Okay.
Welcome, Wild Chefs.
Today we're cooking up the perfect presentation on the blue-eyed spotted couscous, also known as the Spilo couscous wilsoni.
Are you ready, Wild Chefs?
Grab your ingredients and let's get started.
On today's episode of Wild Chef, we've got a rare specialty with us. The blue-eyed spotted couscous, a marsupial with stunning blue eyes and a spotted fur coat.
Joining the lineup are its relatives from the Phalangeridae family, all being suited for arboreal living. The common spotted couscous, for instance, maintains a stable metabolic rate well suited to its nocturnal lifestyle and folivorous diet, which makes it a reliable base ingredient with consistent energy processing. Then we've got the Admiralty Island couscous, small in size but just as efficient. It runs a leaner system, with a metabolism rate built for conserving resources in its more limited island habitat. So all in all these guys are a close-knit bunch physiologically.
They've all got fine-tuned internal systems with each variation suited to ingredients of its own unique environment.
Our couscous is pretty picky about its habitat. It's arboreal, meaning it prefers to live in the treetops of tropical rainforests on the Biak and Superiore Islands in West Papua, Indonesia. Let's take a quick climate check to make sure our cooking temperature is just right. Here, we've got a tropical rainforest biome with hot, humid conditions. In the couscous's habitat, the temperature remains warm year-round, and precipitation rates remain moderate and stable for most of the year. However, there is a huge spike during the springtime, peaking in April. We've got some abiotic ingredients with us too. The rugged, rocky terrain makes land travel pretty difficult, which explains why the couscous mainly lives in trees. Lots of sunlight filters through the dense canopy of trees, and it is accompanied by light coastal breezes moving through the forest, creating a warm and airy environment. And of course, you can't forget about the biotic ingredients. We're going to need lots of plants like leaves, fruits, and flowers for couscous's main course, as well as some insects for snacking. All in all, this ecosystem is like a cozy, humid penthouse suite, almost perfectly customized just for a couscous.
The blue-eyed spotted couscous is great at keeping its internal stove at the perfect temperature, mainly thanks to their insulating flora and low metabolic rate. Because of this, it's always right around the golden medium rare, no matter how it's cooking outside. Whether the rainforest is being battered by a sudden downpour or steaming under direct sunlight, the blue-eyed spotted couscous maintains a steady internal warmth. And that's because it's endothermic, which means its body generates heat from within through metabolic processes. By converting energy from its diets of leaves, flowers, fruits, and the occasional insect, the couscous powers its internal oven, staying warm through cool, wet nights and cooling down efficiently when the canopy turns into a solar griddle.
Blue-eyed spotted couscous is mainly a folivore, meaning its diet consists of leaves. These fibrous, nutrient-rich leaves make up majority of its diet and are well suited for the couscous's slow metabolism and specialized digestive system. Its ability to process tough plant matter gives it access to a stable and abundant food source in the forest canopy. While leaves are staple, the couscous supplements its diet with smaller amounts of things like fruits, flowers, and young shoots depending on the seasonal availability. These provide extra nutrients and energy, especially during times when leaves are less nutritious or plentiful. Occasionally, it may consume small insects or bugs, though this is pretty rare and not a big part of its diet.
The blue-eyed spotted couscous uses many adaptations of different varieties to master the art of living in the trees. One of the main structural adaptations of the couscous is the prehensile tail that acts as a fifth limb, allowing the couscous to navigate the treetops with ease. Its sharp claws let it grasp branches and delicately handle food. An example of a physiological adaptation are the couscous's striking blue eyes, which are rich in rod cells enhancing its night vision. The adaptation lets it forage and move efficiently under the canopy's dim light. Preferring solitude, the couscous has behavioral adaptation that minimizes competition by maintaining a solitary lifestyle. Its deliberate movements through the canopy show a very cautious approach, making sure it stays safe and forages efficiently.
Blue-eyed spotted cuscus is a polygamous, meaning it has multiple mates at a time. It carefully times the annual pairings, averaging around 1.3 babies per litter, each one necessary for the recipe of life to continue. These raw ingredients develop in their mother's pouch for about 5 to 7 months and reach sexual maturity at 8 months. This extremely slow reproductive pace, while perfectly suited to the solitude and speed of their life, shows how vulnerable the cuscus population is, with the chance of this beautiful dish disappearing from the wild or even the world completely. Cuscus helps out the environment in a lot few ways. The droppings give nutrients to the plants, which makes the soil more fertile and supports plant growth. This is important to the forest as plants make food for herbivores and use it as their primary source of food. And this soil fertility plays a key role in that. But why should humans care? Soil fertility doesn't just benefit wildlife, but it also helps for better crop growth and healthier ecosystems. So the cuscus is the gardener for both wildlife and humans.
According to the IUCN, the blue-eyed spotted cuscus is critically endangered, and the reasons behind this are mostly human-made. The main threats are overhunting, deforestation, and the exotic pet trade, also known as poaching, all of which are rapidly cutting down at the cuscus's population. Poaching mainly occurs because of the cuscus's unique appearance. Due to the fact it has unique blue eyes and spotted fur, it's a high-value target for the illegal wildlife trade, being seen as nothing more than a luxury commodity. This chops down at the population very, very fast. Deforestation only makes the issue even worse, as the entire forests are wiped out for things like agriculture, development, and palm oil. The cuscuses lose resources that are crucial to its survival, such as shelter among the canopy, food sources like fruits and flowers, and safe nesting sites. With its habitat shrinking, our star is becoming rarer and rarer, making the dish much more exotic, which is not a good thing. However, there is good news on the menu. Indonesia's government, along with groups like the Asian Species Action Partnership, also known as ASAP, and the IUCN, are cooking up a plan to help our blue-eyed delicacy. ASAP and IUCN have served up reports on their endangerment, and the Indonesian government has stepped in, declaring Biak and Sapori Islands as no human zones in many areas, creating a protected space for a couscous to thrive without disruption. This conservation effort focuses more on the protection of our main blue-eyed spot ingredient, rather than the ecosystem as a whole, which is not a good thing.
This is because aiming to save specific species is just a band-aid solution. If the ecosystem continues to be damaged, then all the wildlife inside that system will continue to be at risk of feeling the effects of it in the long run, even if they have been helped in the short term.
Thanks to these actions, the couscous has a better shot at keeping its tree-top habitat safe and sound. But just like any other great dish, there's more work to be done to perfect the recipe.
Couscous has a few special ingredients that affect its survival, which are density, dependent, and independent factors.
The main density-dependent factor is competition. Since the blue-eyed spotted cuscus has to compete with other abundant cuscus species like the common spotted cuscus for the same food, it's like too many chefs fighting in the kitchen over the same ingredients.
With more couscouses, there's more competition for food, like insects and leaves. This reduces the resources available, slowing down population growth. On the flip side, the density-independent factor is natural disasters. West Papua is located smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ring of Fire, which makes its habitat very prone to earthquakes and tsunamis. And these unpredictable events can reduce the couscous's population, make them vulnerable and endangered. No matter how well the recipe is going, nature can throw unexpected challenges.
The blue-eyed spotted cuscus has two major weaknesses in its recipe for survival. First, it's endemic to just a few isolated islands, meaning there's very limited habitat. If something happens to those islands, like habitat destruction, it's like losing a key ingredient in a dish. With fewer places to live, the couscous could face extinction, and a precise ingredient might be gone forever. The second weakness? The couscous has a very slow reproductive rate. With small litters and a long time between births, it would take decades to recover the population. Think of it like trying to grow a crop that takes years just to yield a single fruit. The recipe for recovery is a slow, patient process. Sadly, the recipe for survival is looking a little bleak for our blue-eyed spotted cuscus. The population is already so small that it may be extinct in the wild, with only a handful left in captivity. While we don't know the exact numbers from back then, It's estimated that the population has declined by 80% in the last decade. A small population means less genetic diversity, and with inbreeding rates rising because of this, the couscous's future becomes even more fragile. And add that to the pressure of deforestation, with huge plots of land being flattened for palm oil plantations and human development, and the couscous is left with even fewer ingredients for survival. But there's still a pinch of hope. If conservation efforts improve, deforestation slows, and the couscous continues to adapt, we might just have a chance to save this rare and beautiful species from disappearing entirely, and one day we might be able to look back at where we were and be amazed by how far we've come.
Oh, well, guess we're done with the couscous project and the couscous animal, not the food.
Well, speaking about the couscous food, we should probably go eat it, right? We're all feeling hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving. Where is it? I'm behind.